was another miserable day in Alberta. I have plans on visiting my trail cam before the weather gets any worse. I'm glad I took full advantage of the mild weather we did have and did some maintenance to my snowmobile in Comatic. My snow machine is 28 years old and I'm always worried about breaking down, especially in this type of weather. Because of the drifting snow and no signs of any plows, I only had to rebuild one snow bridge compared to the 7 on my last trip. So I just made it out to my trail cam after driving through yet another whiteout. I'm surprised I made it here. So I'm going to change the batteries today. I discovered on my last trip that the batteries were dead. I've gone this far to change batteries, so I might as well check up on my winter camp. It's my safe retreat away from the elements while I'm out in the wilderness. Whether I'm video trapping, collecting resources, or searching for antlers and skulls, I have many hobbies I enjoy. My winter camp consists of shelter, wood stove, cookware, and tools. A completely self-reliant camp to stay at if I'm ever stranded out here. It does come at a cost. The endless task of collecting firewood. Without firewood, this camp can't exist. Well, I just got into a fight with my stovepipe. Still not too sure who won. But when I got it to my winter camp, where the stovepipe goes through the roof, through the stove jack, it actually came apart. I don't know if it was all these storms that have been going through. Knocked it apart, and I tried to put it back together. Wasn't happening. So I just took this whole section out. Now my stovepipe is a little bit shorter. I will fix this, just not today. Not in the mood. I plan on bringing my chainsaw back to camp soon, but today I'm just going to use my axe and crosscut saw. A chainsaw is obviously quicker, but requires fuel, bar oil, frequent sharpening, and is very difficult to get to camp, despite having a snowmobile. try to drive this wedge in, free up my other wedge, see what happens. This tree is hung up on the top and doesn't want to come down. I think I wasted enough time on this thing. It was a good source of firewood for me, but with any luck, maybe the wind will take it down one day. Well, it's time to get this wood stove going. It was minus 31 when I got up this morning, and snowfall warning. While I was waiting for my lunch to cook, I restocked my kindling pile. I have another tasty meal today, some hearty soup, and this is a homemade pizza pocket. I made some pizza dough, spread it out in a cast iron pan like this at home, put in some cheese, chopped up mushrooms, chopped up bologna, some red hot, put another piece of dough on top, pinched it around the edges, put in the oven for about 10 minutes at 450. So this is going to be dipped in my soup. So I just finished splitting up some of these rounds. Staying ahead of the firewood is a job that never ends around here. And I finally remembered to bank some snow around my splitting stump. This way it won't move around while I'm splitting wood. All things considered, I had a fairly successful day. Extreme weather, limited visibility in daylight, and in these conditions, everything takes longer than you think. It's very steep and rough terrain getting to and from camp, and by the time I get home, I'm completely wiped out.